G'day YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to today's Mudflat tour review. And my crikeys, can you feel the distant freeze that we're actually starting to feel a bit there at the moment though? Well, it's not yet winter, but we're still in summer. But yes, we're basically in the very late part of summer and into our early autumn. My goodness me, it's going to be a very radical change once we head towards autumn time. But yet again, hopefully I won't get the seasonal anxiety disorder though, because I had enough. Okay, so I had enough of being totally depressed on freaking autumn and winter and freaking spring. Now, with that being said, I shall be a lot more confident and hardworking now. And what's quite funny is that we're going to be reviewing some, not just British wildlife collection tours, but also some tropical animals. Can you believe it though? I've actually made 3 tropical animal products though that I might take a look at later on though. With 2 of the seagulls though, being herring gulls, of course. Why wouldn't it be so typical for herring gulls to pretty much be in the Flip-Flop universe, because they have to be. And not only that, it also belongs to a part of my British wildlife collection toy range, which, since I live in the UK, we have a lot of seagulls. Not just in the coast, but also in urban areas. It's just something I really want to say to remind you guys. And I'm like, oh my goodness me, my hands are itching me. But anyways, let's do it! Okay, so I'm going to take a look at those 2 herring gull products here first. Both of these look identical. One of them is a subadult product though. This one here is a subadult herring gulls and Tidal high tide flat pro 12 pack. Sorry, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right though. Hopefully I won't get Kermit the Frog in my throat though. At least. Yes, it's called the Flip-Flop Origami Flapping Birds British Wildlife Collection Late Summer Roosting Subadult Herring Gulls and Tidal High Tide Mudflat Pro 12 pack. It costs about £10.99 or £11. Whereas this one here that I might take a look at later on has got adults in it, and it costs about £14.99 or £15. And it also has not just salmon, it's like a salmon farm and Oysterbeds 12 pack, which looks quite interesting. I might take a look at that one later on. But let's take a look at the back of the packaging of the product that features the subadult herring gulls. Looks beautiful, doesn't it, eh? Very beautiful indeed. And it looks quite nice. It looks like this, oh my goodness me, that one there on the right hand corner there, it looks like he's totally demented while standing on the, well, on the rock sculpture, whatever it's called. It looks like something out of a very strange Zen garden, if you ask me, with those rocks stacked up together, eh? But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look and see what we've got, because I need to. And what's kind of strange is that the birds in the artwork don't have brown head patches or streaks, but the models do. I think I've actually had suffered the same fate back in May of 2021, but I might be totally wrong. Okay, before I should start to get a bit of a frog in my throat, I'm just going to go ahead and take a look at one of the herring gull, I'll just say subadults first. There you go, that's what it looks like there. Yeah, it's a breeding sort of head though, kind of, because look at the head though. It's pretty much, well, entirely white. It's more of a breeding plumage type head. But if you look at it this way, because it's a subadult, it's got a combination of not just grey, or silvery grey for that matter, because it's a herring gull, and not unless a blackback gull. It also has brown patches on the wings though. It also has a black tail end, which pretty much signifies us it's a subadult herring gull. Oh yeah. And yes, it does have a name. As always, as per usual, what birds are meant to be. Here you go. And I might show you the other ones next. Obviously, I do have quite a few of those subadult herring gulls with just the white on the head though. Hopefully I should make as many seagull products, particularly with the larger ones. The larger ones are the more, I would just say, more raucous and the more frequently encountered type gulls, although I could say otherwise, because as we come towards autumn and winter, we will start to see a massive gull roost. I believe, and also early spring before they will be heading back to their breeding colonies about, I don't know, let's just say March, let's just say mid or late March, but yet again I don't care now because, well, I feel like my seasonal anxiety disorder is now finished now, and this is the wintering one because it's got a bit of a brown streaky head. If that gull has got a brown streaky head, well, it's a wintering bird or a non-breeding bird, and there you go. Wintering subadult herring gull. And it's quite interesting, a lot of the subadult wintering birds, you know, when they're kind of like that, almost kind of pretty much lose the brown streakings on their wings though. Maybe it's for the fact they're coming close to adult plumage, but yet again they just have a bit of brown and a bit of black on the tails as well though. That's something to be highly indistinguishable, I believe that's the word I'm having trouble to say though, but yet again, I am pretty much good at saying words and whatnot though, and that subadult herring gull is actually going a bit crazy and a bit of a very strange maneuver, how would you say it, eh? But anyways, let's take a look at the major components though, because I'm a bit bored though. Oh my goodness me. Quite tedious whenever I review toys on Sundays, because I should have done it later on in the morning or in the afternoon and whatnot though. But let's just take a look at those shells here first. Now these two shells actually had a trip to Merseyside, somewhere in Hoylake or Wallasey. You know the D estuary on the top of, I just say Merseyside there. They've got a beautiful coastline there. They're in the artwork where it looks like they've got like, are these cockle shells? Yeah, they're cockle shells. Actually, if I look at the back of the packaging, yep, 2 seashells based on cockle shells. Very interesting. There you go. There's some of the cockle shells here. Pretty perfect as a garden ornament or something to decorate for. And one of the more common species of seashells that you often see on the seaside though, alongside with scallops. And mind you, oh, just dropped one of them. You can actually eat their flesh and not their very hard shell, as you would often see at the seaside, eh? And yeah, definitely say that a lot of the seashells, which mainly look like this, now look like that, are mainly consumed by the seagulls. I definitely say it might be the seagulls that might have been consuming those sort of kind of shells and stuff like that one, eh? I tend to find loads and loads of them at the beaches of Wallasey and Hoylake, and there was a very, very big gull roost here as well. You get black-headed herring, lesser blackback, grey blackback. I actually saw a few grey blackback gulls, common gulls, the ones that I might try and make another product on these kind of birds, because obviously, you know what, the common new gull, it's pretty much a misnamed kind of bird though, because it's usually outnumbered by herring, black-headed and lesser blackback gull, as always as per usual. And we've got a couple of mussels here, which look pretty much like a mussel, which definitely look like a mussel obviously though. Strange, isn't it, eh? And you've also got a couple of these two fishies here, and they're called red Gurnards, and I think I've seen them before at the fish market, and I don't know if these guys are found in pairs or in singles, or maybe they're just loners, maybe they're just very social fish. They don't often socialise a lot, and they're often caught by many, many anglers. It's got like a yellow eye, almost looks like a red snapper, or maybe a sea bream of some kind. But yet again, they're Gurnards, so I might be saying that these fishies are more confined to, like, you know, shingly waters. Maybe I might be totally wrong though. But yet again, it's quite a nice looking set, and it's quite spectacular, isn't it, eh? And also, just to let you know, because I think from this Sunday and hopefully from next week, I'm actually going to get really busy, and I'll try and make as many Vietnamese 21 toys, some pony themed toys. I think the pony themed toys are actually going to be quite most likely the ones that I think they'll be pretty much the big hotspot for September. Might be totally wrong, but yet again, August is coming to an end, and I'll try and make as many pony themed toys as possible, maybe before the end of the year or so. Maybe, I can't remember probably make as many in August or September until October, but I might be totally wrong though, eh? Well, I thought I had a hole in the t-shirt, but it's actually a bit of saliva. That's a bit nasty, eh? Maybe with water. Anyways, let me move on to this product here. The late summer roosting adult herring gull flock at Salmon Farm and Oysterbeds 12-pack, which costs about £15, £14.99. And look at that! There's the long call of a herring gull. Look at that herring gull. It's doing a bit of a long call here. And looks very nice. Yeah, it's quite funny. I don't often tend to make products that involve oysters. And there's actually something very strange here. It's an oyster, not poop. If you look closer here, it's a picture of an oyster there that is easily mistaken for a great big piece of poop. Not saying the S word, because if I did, well, that's going to pretty much tick the crap out of many people off. And that wouldn't be very nice, wouldn't it? No. But anyways, we've got some oysters to contend with, and we've also got a few fish here as well. But don't you love the sound of envelopes being unpacked, though? If anything, I would have been amused if the products had crinkly sounds, crinkly bags inside, though. Would have been amazing, wouldn't it? Alright. So here are the salmons. They look very different to the salmons that I did earlier on. Okay, so how would you say it? These fishies, they look pretty much different, though. And I've just dropped the pencil sharpener though, which wasn't that really great though. Luckily enough, the pencil sharpener is still there on the table though. And my god, it's got a lot of pencil debris and stuff like that one. It's like one of those pencil sharpeners that you get in those cheapy shops, whatever you go to. Particularly in Asia. Okay, so this is what this Atlantic salmon looks like. There's no spots on either side here. Therefore, it looks quite a very nice looking model there, right? We got the other one here next. If the camera is a bit in focus, eh? There you go, I can see its face here. Pretty much the same face design and the same body colorization. Same with the tail and whatnot and stuff like that one, eh? And there's the other fish here as well. Pretty hard in focus, eh? There you go, I can see its face here. On this side, or on the other side. I'm not sure if you can see it though, but this camera can be a bit troublesome to work with, but yet again it is quite a nice looking camera to go for, eh? And that salmon, if I have a look at its face here, it looks like its face has been distorted. Strange, distorted looking face. Well, kind of though. Maybe I should wipe the camera just a bit there and see if it works. Well, kind of though, I can still sort of see its face, but the rest of it is just very distorted though. Let me just grab a pencil there and see if that will help. See if that will help to change and make the fish a bit more easier to see. How's that? A bit more easier? Yeah, looks very, very nice, doesn't it though? And then we've got some oysters here next, which pretty much look like a flat oyster. And they actually look quite nice, eh? There you go. Gotta have that kind of design if you want to have like an oyster and whatnot, though. And then there's another one here as well. You know, all oysters don't have to be that perfect in terms of design and whatnot, though. You know, real oysters, they're very complex, though. But mind you, if I made a model like that, it would be hard. But yet again, I'm just lucky that I've just kept it in a very simplistic manner. Okay. Strange, isn't it, eh? 3 oysters. I could have basically added some inside detailing, like the flesh would have been yellow inside. Wouldn't that be great? Like you know, the pearls of an oyster. That's something I've realised, eh? And there's saliva, a bit of saliva drooping on my mouth and whatnot. There is one of the herring gulls. It's a typical adult herring gull. In fact, there's 2 versions. We've got this one here, which is a breeding one. And I'm just checking if it's got pink legs. Yes, it does. And then there's also the wintering version of the herring gull, which obviously looks like this. And yes, the typical brown streakings on its head pretty much signifies that this bird is a wintering one. You know, it's quite funny that whenever I go to Merseyside, there's actually a lot more herring gull activity than lesser blackback gull activity though. Although I might be totally wrong, maybe like, you know, Swansea, I definitely say. Maybe the more further out to the coast in the west, the more herring gull activity there will be though. But yet again, I might be completely and utterly wrong though. Because herring gulls are found anywhere apart from the coast, and they're actually found all over the UK now, which is surprisingly amazing. But yet again, it's also very cool as well. Oh yes, don't you love the flapping sound of a bird? Oh yes, I surely do. And it looks quite nice and spectacular in the way they fly. Mind you, I definitely say I might have a huge invasion of gulls, hopefully as the year progresses. Particularly with herring and lesser black-backed gulls and the black-headed gulls. And even the more scarcer common mew gull, which is like a smaller version of a herring gull with yellowish, greenish legs. But yeah, it's a bit more rare as well though, a bit more medium size as well though. There you go, that's pretty much finished. Okay, so these two gull products are done and dusted. Anyways, let's move on into some tropical themed products. Hooray! Okay, so let's take a look at this one here. It's a British, oh my goodness me, British Wildlife Collection toy. Flip Flop Origami Flapping Birds. Yes, I've already said the word British Wildlife Collection, and this product is called, hang on, there's a bit of a mashup with Flip Flop Pets as well. Crikeys, I didn't realise that. And it's called the Feeding and Flocking Rose Ringnecks Parakeets and Apples 12 pack. £9.95. And actually, just before I continue doing this toy review, my hands are freaking dry as hell. And my goodness me, I'm just going to add some cream onto my hands because my skin is pretty much dry though. It's actually quite painful when you have skin which is so dry and so unforgiving as well. Yet again, I just have to add a bit of cream just to make sure that my skin is moisturised. I've still got eczema though. At least my skin is getting better though, but I'll try not to pick it and deteriorate it by scratching it, which wouldn't be very, very nice since I would call it deteriorating and whatnot though. And you know what, I'm just pretty much doing it for the sake of me healing my skin and whatnot though. So, yeah, that's all I can do, eh? And, yeah, it's gonna take quite a while, eh? But the toy review must go ahead though. It's like you're saying, you know, the show must go on though. And let's not cancel it. No, we shouldn't. And let's take a look at the back of the packaging, eh? There you go, it's quite a nice looking toy. But yet again, these birds come from a tropical climate, and yet again, these tropical residents are now thriving in a less than tropical climate, which is very interesting now. Okay, let's take a look at what we've got. A bit more easy if I should pretty much unpack toys from here, because it also presents really nicely, I dare say. We've got some apples to take a look at later on there. We've got one of the apples here first. Strange enough, that's what it looks like though. Does it look like an apple if I do it like this? Oh, it looks like a very different type of fruit, but yet again they're classified as apples. How do you like them apples? Actually, I might try and fold it one more and see if it becomes an apple. Oh yes, it does. Much better, isn't it, eh? Fancy that? Looks like a golden delicious apple to me, eh? But let's take a look at the parakeets first, though, because there's actually a bit of gender differences going on here, though, although the females don't have eyelashes, though. And let's take a look at the males here first. It's quite amazing. At this product, I was expecting it not to continue with this, but luckily enough, I've got a plentiful amount of green felt tip markers on the menu here, so I can pretty much continue with my parakeet product. And that's what it looks like. Oh yes, it's a male version, and the way to tell the difference between a male from a female, if I grab the female one here, is that the female hasn't got any head markings though of a rosy, I'll just say peachy collar marking with black markings in its head that the male has, but the female doesn't though. Which makes accurate sense if you would have looked up closely on a female parakeet versus a male parakeet. And yes, it actually, there's a bit of sexual dimorphism on these parakeets, which is something I've realised it, I suppose. And there you go, there's the name here, and it's also a female as well, as you can see it there. Very, very nice. In fact, we've got 3 males and 3 females, which makes up 6. And actually, I've actually noticed something quite weird though. Although my hands are quite itchy at the moment though, I've actually noticed that this male bird is starting to die off though, so I'm actually going to use the scissors, and I'm only just going to cut just a bit though. I'm not going to pretty much torture the model though, so what I'm doing is a bit of a rip here. Can you see that rip there? Right over there, can you see it though? Let me show it to you again. Can you see it there? There's a bit of a ripping there. So I'm a bit disappointed there's a bit of ripping there. But I'm trying to see that there, there's a bit of ripping there, and that's what I don't like. So I'm only going to snip just a bit there. Just going to do a bit of snipping. And see what happens there. And I'll try and smudge a bit of black here as well. Does that work? How's that? Looking a bit much more better for a parakeet, eh? Well, yes it is. Looking much more better and as free as it goes. And we've also got another male here as well. Very nice in the way that they fly. Very, very frisky flies there too. And actually I've seen that very weird video of an Indian man that feeds like over 3,000 or 10,000 parakeets in India. And it's interesting, a lot of those parakeets that you find in India, they would often go through, you know, rice bags, even sacks of various different grains and whatnot there, which is interesting I suppose. And the wings, they look a bit tad different though, in the way they've been designed. It actually looks a lot more realistic than what I actually did for the first time. And with the tails looking more like that, with a yellowish limey colour and the greenish colour of course. In fact, I would love to make as many as possible though. Let's take some of the apples out now, because I want to see some of the different apples that we've got there. Here's what it looks like to be a limeish, greenish looking apple, maybe a Granny Smith or whatever it is. And here's another golden delicious, maybe it's a Cox apple, or I don't know, I really don't know my cultivars of apples. This is another apple there, looks quite interesting though. Maybe it's yet again another Granny Smith once again. Couldn't be, it could be, maybe. This one here looks like, could look like a red delicious which has been discoloured. Maybe it could be a, I don't know, maybe a Braeburn, I can't really tell. Very interesting apple names, obviously, they look quite nice in the way they've been designed. And this one here might be closely designed after a Royal Gull apple, I'm pretty sure, because of the colours and whatnot there. And whenever you unify and blend the two colours together of yellow and red, it actually looks pretty much realistic though. It actually adds a bit of realism, which makes it so totally sensical and not nonsensical whenever I think of it, eh? It looks totally realistic though. Start to catches your eye though, and what kind of apple it is though. It's better than just, you know, using one colour and just make it into an actual apple though, unless if it's like, you know, if it's green then I'll classify them as Granny Smiths. But yet again, it's a misconception that I still need to indulge in. Okay, so let's take a look at another tropical product next. I would have never thought making tropical products would have been that great though for the summer to make the most of before it ends. This one here is called the Flip-Flop Origami Pets. Now the Flip-Flop Pets logo is actually on the top left corner next to the virus that we all know, pure hatred. This product here is called the Tropical Argentine Horned Frog Pear and Goldfish Pear 5-pack. £8.50. I've actually realised these frogs are closely related to the ornate horned frogs, which are more of an Amazonian sort of tropical jungle sort of species. But these ones here, although I kind of feel like they also live in tropical rainforests, they would also live in grasslands and wetland areas, I believe. And they're based on Argentine horned frogs, although because, oh wait, did I just say the word although? Yes, I did. I said the word although. It actually says the word also. Also because they have reminiscence of the video game character Pacman. Their characteristic round shapes and big mouths have, oh wait, let me just read it one, eh? Have made the pencil dropped on the floor. Or was it headphones? Okay, it was the headphones day. The socket for the headphones day. Sorry the video is getting a bit rough and ready though, but hopefully it's not going to be rough and ready as I would initially thought. Have made those frogs, also known as Pacman Frogs. which in a sense pretty much makes sense. Waka 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 waka. Actually, look at the eyes there. They look like freaking Pac-Man. Look at their eyes. They actually got Pac-Man-like eyes. Oh, frick. It's like something from the 1920s Disney cartoons. And cartoons used to be quite, you know, good at those times. And you've got like a single lily pad. And you've also got a couple of goldfish here as well. A4 size. And, yes. They certainly do have a huge reminiscence of Pac-Man now, and they definitely make one of the strangest sounds, like they can scream and whine, obviously, when agitated, and they have the strangest croaking sound I've ever heard from a frog. And what's quite interesting about these frogs is that they actually don't move a lot though. My arms are itching. Crockies, when does this momentum of being so sloppy will end? If it never ends, I'm gonna basically quit this job. I'm just kidding, I won't quit this job though. But anyways, let me just show you the Argentine horned frogs. That's what they would look like, eh? They've got like a greenish brownish colorization here with a tannish yellowish underside here. And it's quite funny making this video about 8 o'clock though, which is very early though. Okay, so this one here is the male. As you can see, it's a lot much more brighter coloured for a frog like that one, eh? And got that distinctive design there. It looks like a bullfrog, but it is supposed to be based on a Pac-Man Argentine horn frog, which makes total sense though. And it looks like they're missing a bit of nostril detailing there, which would have been much more better into the toy. No licensing info, but yet again these toys are great. There you go, there's another frog here with another greenish brownish colorization here with a lot much more of a lightish greenish looking colour, limey green colour. Once again, she's got the same eye detailing, apart from the fact she's female. She's got eyelashes on her eyes. Yeah, beautiful looking, very strange, still looking mouths, very straight faced looking frogs. And actually I can make these frogs easily though if I put the female and the male together. Look at that. I can even make these frogs do a bit of a mating ritual. How about that? That's a bit nice and a bit more scientifically kid friendly though. Maybe it's not, because maybe they're just having sex. But anyways, let's just stop talking about the one, because that would be too cringy for today's stupid YouTube. Okay, we've got a lily pad, which looks like a heart, and it's got a very strange looking design now. Would have made them a lot much more interesting if I folded them like that back, and to make it a bit more of a different kind of shape, I suppose. But yet again, that's what a lily pad would look like though, eh? It's a beautiful design, as you can think of it otherwise, I suppose. And lily pads are created for the sake of being stereotypical. Frogs tend to be residents of living next to lily pads and stuff, but not always all the time. Oops, sorry, I've been a bit cruel though. And we've also got a couple of goldfish. Luckily enough, they're not magic carpets anymore though. They look more like a generic... I'm just putting a very weird looking, I'll just say it, a praise looking face, eh? It looks quite nice though. Better than any other goldfish though. It's got a much better colour combination of yellow and orange together, eh? Although, obviously there's lots of people saying, oh, but I'm orange, you know, goldfishes aren't even orange, they're not even yellow, goldfishes aren't yellow, they're orange. Well, they are yellow and orange at the same time. Don't you know that? And they can also be red, black and white, a little bit like koi fish if you ask me. And, mind you, these frogs, I actually saw one of them at the pet store at Barnes Hill next to the Astor there. I think it was called Barking Mad, and I think there was a Cantonese restaurant here as well. Next to it there, and those pet frogs, they're actually quite amazing though. It's pretty interesting. I don't often see frogs a lot though in the wild, or even at pet stores though, but if I do, I start to get excited, you know, pretty much excited though actually though. Well, interested actually though. I used to be excited, but yet again frogs aren't that bad overall though. But I often tend to be quite amazed actually at times, so whenever I see a different species of frogs actually. And I still like them actually. And yeah, pretty much finished with this product here. Okay. Well, at least there's no more flip-flap products to review though, but wait. Wait a minute. There's actually one more flip-flap toy I'm actually going to show you here. This. You remember I made toys like this back in spring 2020? You know, that was one of my lockdown times. I used to remember making toys like that one, eh? You know, making reptiles and mammals and different critters like that, even insects as well. This big baby here, oh my goodness me, this is bigger than your average gecko though. It's supposed to be based on a tropical species of gecko that lives in the jungles of an island called New Caledonia, which used to be an eastern chunk of Australia that broke away about 18 million years ago. It's like a lost world, isn't it, New Caledonia though? So lost and ancient, you know, the trees in New Caledonia, I know they're related to the monkey puzzle tree. Could even imagine that there will be dinosaurs munching on trees like that one, eh? And yes, at the time when dinosaurs thrived, many of the trees would have thrived and been consumed and eaten by dinosaurs today. And it's quite amazing now if I think of it, eh? But let's go ahead and talk about the gecko, eh? Which is this one here. Obviously it's a New Caledonian crested eyelash gecko here, and the reason why they're also called eyelash geckos, look at that. Get it? Here's the other side here, eh? He or she looks beautiful, and it looks like a very different colour. Could be a patternless crested gecko. And look at this. Oh, look at that, a jaw-dropping gecko. How about that? It's like a surprised gecko. First off you have surprised Pikachu, now you've got the surprised gecko. How about that? This is freaking hilarious. And look at that. This gecko is almost as long as this. Crikey o'Reillys. It's almost as long as my webcam screen. Webcam screen. Wait, did I say the word scream or screen? I can't remember, eh? I think it's the word screen more than screen. S-C-R-E-E-N, not S-C-R-E-A-N, which is the one I've said a bit more times in this video, right? Which is a bit stupid. But anyways, it's got like a very interesting orange pinstripe running along from the eye to the tail there, which looks pretty much amazing there. It's not a bland design, and it looks quite cool. It's got like a white underside, or is it like a tanny beige underside? And the legs, they look very, very nice. And what's very impressive about this guy here is that because it's a lizard or a gecko, whatever you're going to call it, eh? It's got 5 digits. Look at that. It's got toes in here as well. Therefore, I'm actually having trouble to remove and make them look like an actual toed lizard there, eh? Pretty weird, eh? On the way on how lizards are designed there. I think they have 5 toes, which is pretty much true if you think about it though, of course. Some of these, because they must have been stuck in with glue and stuff like that one, eh? They can be a bit of a toughie though. It can be quite a bit of a toughie to get these toes retracted like so. The other one here, looks like the other side there, looks like it's doing fine though. They've got like pretty realistic toes. Crested geckos there. And this one is a bit troublesome though, but we're getting here. We're getting there. Captain. Looks quite nice though, eh? Let me try and separate the toes, the other digits and stuff like that one, eh? And as a bit of proof that you can actually stretch these toes and make it as realistic as possible though. Look at that. Look at the amount of toes it's got, eh? Oh my crikeys, O'Reillys, look at that. There's the back legs, little back feet. Looks beautiful, isn't it, eh? And geckos, if I remember, these are like little lizards that actually tend to chirp a lot more than hiss. Because I definitely say, that's how I remembered my science and biology as well though. It looks beautiful and quite spectacular. It also looks like a realistic top view of a gecko as well, if I get those toes up right, eh? And visibly accurate though, eh? It's got 5 fingers or toes, eh? Beautiful. It actually looks very, very nice, eh? And if I show it like that, that's what a gecko should actually look like, eh? It's beautiful. Quite intensely beautiful if you ask me, eh? And it's got the beautiful looking brownish, yellowish brownish looking eye Also got a pink tongue whenever I jaw drop this thing. In fact, this reptile looks so beautiful though, in terms of its design though, and it looks so cool. I mean, who would ever thought making models like that back in the spring would have brought into like a long hiatus though. But yet again, I'm just so glad to bring this lizard back into action and make models like that, just like what I did back in the spring. It's so cool. Thanks to that one, eh? It's a beautiful looking one, isn't it, eh? Well, it certainly is. And speaking of well, I think that's about it in this video. I'll be very kind to Mr. or Mrs. Gecko Lizard, wherever he is. Yeah, I can tell you what, it's quite an amazing and early toy view, eh? And strangely enough, I've got a funny feeling that as we head towards autumn, we will start to see a very radical change of what we've got at the moment, though. But anyways, if you really enjoyed this toy review, though, please give this video a very good like. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content on my... Oh my goodness, what was I saying? Yes, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content. And, also, yes, don't forget, I'll be busy, though. I'll be very busy, so I'll try and do my hard working best. I'm sure you'll like my future content though, as time progresses and flies by though, and my goodness me, it's going to be quite amazing when things are starting to implement in a very different way. So anyways, I think that's about it in this video, and my goodness me, I'm just so glad I've started this video early. As always, thank you so much for watching in this video, guys, and I'm really sorry for being a bit rough and ready as well though, at the moment though, because I didn't know what to say there. A few instances, nearly had the frog in my throat, and my goodness me, crikey O'Reilly's, I nearly had a bit of failures as well, like that sort of pin drop, like, you know, the headphone socket, and the freaking pencil sharpener, whether I dropped it and just flung it down towards the table though. Well, still on the table, but it's still there. There you go, I might try and unload this once I'm finished with this video. Anyways, another second hurrah, bye!